Whoa! Good evening, everyone. It is 15 minutes into the hour of midnight on June the 14th, I believe it is, because last night was June the 13th, and it was the first time the full moon has been on the 13th for quite some time. How did we miss it? I saw it out there tonight, though. It was very, very powerful. Before I forget, I was going to mention some things. I see on the chalkboard there behind me. Oh goodness, I did something earlier today. I made a run at explaining how the affiliate distribution plan works, and I hope you can see me well and hear me. That's another thing about this. I want y'all to start putting a graph on the color of this video that you're seeing me down here, because I've narrowed this thing down to where it's a dadgum smart meter. Can't be anything else. I've had the electric people out here. Of course, they're not probably the well. They're not on top of the game. But it seems that when you would have your lights lowered, like during the daytime, it seems like that you don't need the lights as much. That they're dimmer, and then it sometimes, So I'm trying to, if you would just watch this for me, because they got those meters, I do believe, and I don't want to get stirred up about that and go out there and do anything wild. So, but that was such a learning experience what I went through. Just an absolute learning experience. Had total chaos getting the platform to work and all that. I'm going to do a real clean one so that everybody can see it, and I'll do it probably on a screencast. I don't think that there's any need for us to have how this works out there in front of God and everybody, like this thing here is that I'm talking about hiding something. Is this crazy? And why should we even have to worry about all this? That's what I'm really all about, and I learned that today, from the time that I've been thinking about this a whole lot, the standing up for something, and I'm off into all little avenues of what that actually means, and then following your own passion. And one of the problems I've had is molding into another direction, even though some of those things may be extremely beneficial if you were just doing that, if you didn't know what we're getting a grip on here. And everything seems to be something that is just, I wouldn't say complicating it, but just more baggage than is necessary. But you do seek out to achieve your end game or your agenda, or to make it a little easier or faster, whatever it may be. You do seek a fair exchange of value for all the tools that you use. But I want everyone to know that the financial intel team that we are going to start, there is no question whatsoever that it is coming down. And whether that be with me and one other person, I can find a friend, and we're going to kick it off. It is the purest thing that I have ever seen in my life, and I want to see it stay that way. I miss saying some things on that deal there. That good friend I've met is Donna King. Her husband's in the hospital. Just send out some energy. That name, Donna King. Her husband's in the hospital, and before I did the video earlier about the training, and she had mentioned, she said she loved to hear me. I made them laugh or something like that, and then I text her back or message her back and say, well, wait till you hear me try to explain this affiliate distribution plan. That see, you think you've heard anything funny? So we did stumble through that, and it come off fairly smoothly. A few things that were error, I'm going to correct those and get them done. I have released and just let it be, and instead of trying to complicate it so terribly much. That's what programmer Ryan's been telling me, Ryan Churchill, all along. Man, you're trying to complicate it. When I just finally let go and said there's just three little things about it, and these patterns repeat, and that's it. You can get into it and you can make a hobby. Trust me, I'm not kidding you. You can take those 3 zeros and you can get yourself 500 sheets of paper and draw them on a sheet of paper, and you can go hog wild trying to figure out how you realized it that first second when you grasp it, and you had no doubt that it was great and worked and everything, and but then you put them on paper. I have fair warned you. And it has 3 moving parts. You just move them around. They apply everywhere. I think we have the computer power on the planet to pull that off. So that was a neat experience, and I'm going to ramble a little bit as I always do, but it's important on this, very important, because we're breaking the bottle on this thing on Wednesday. And from the intel that I received, we're on track. And but I do need to let everyone know that this is different. This is different than anything that you've ever done before. We realize that for sharing the true ease of this and the mechanics of it, the way I've laid it out up to this point, where a lot of people would say, now what in the world did he say? I can understand that. My gosh, if I was to hear someone say that, I would just be going, number one, it would be it'd be crazy. So we do have to have, I realize this, something that people can get their mind around, that we're about, that has value. And Kevin mentioned this to me. He loved that morning report that we have, that I do with Suspicious Observer on Facebook, on YouTube, and I can go over there and show you which one I'm talking about. And that comes on extremely early in the morning, around 5:30 my time. Where is Suspicious Observer? And but I have been, if y'all remember, I have been discussing going back to the day shift, which is the morning hours. He should be near the top, but y'all know the one I'm talking about. Recommended. And I gotta find him now. I'm gonna waste time doing this. I'm fixed on it. Bingo. This guy, this fella here, that's just unbelievable with the depth by which he goes into the news. It's the real news, weather, and he mixes a little politics in there from time to time.
Well, folks, I know that we just spoke to you. It is 8:48 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Coming to you because we have another X-class solar flare about to occur. Of course, it is at M9.5 right now, as you can see down here.
And so this is real stuff I'm talking to you about. And he shoots it out there, and you get that at early morning. Kevin's saying that, man, we've got here, because Randy, you're out there in left field, and you're gathering all this stuff up. If you could compress all that into a morning blast, so that we could get up, get a morning blast, 15-minute compression of all this stuff, and then decompress before you head out the front door, with a little quiet time. Said, man, that's you talk about value. That's packed full of value. And I guess it is. And so I have to rethink what we're already doing, the assets that we have for those coming in to get their head around the fact that we really don't have to do anything. I think that's what people are having a problem with, is that, but it's a fact, and I'm going to get off that. We're going to go with this value packed thing that people can get their head around about stuff that I call, that this is what I do. This is doing nothing. I mean, if you call, I don't know what we call it, but this is just what I do. And that to me is doing, if that makes sense, that's doing absolutely nothing, because this is it. And so sharing that, compress that wildness into that nothingness into something that people can get their head around and start expanding a little bit. That I can see that carries. I would pay $35 a month for find these people like David and what have you, and then share with y'all things going on like what Phoenix is doing, and show you how you can come over here and do this. And I was thinking, well, how could that have any value really? Because it's out there, and I've already told them where to go get it. But who's going to go listen to it all like you are, Randy? And because I'm into all this graphs and stuff like this, it just makes me like when he said that was on June the 10th, and I go,
Here at the
man,
bottom, but there's no way this is just going to drop back down. This will likely be at X class range within 1 minute. In fact, it
whoa,
may be there now. By the next update, we should see that. What we're going to do here is we're going to use the Gong H Alpha because we are in pretty much real time, and the SDO does.
and let me tell you something. Have y'all noticed out there tonight what he's talking about? Go out there and look. He did that on the 10th. Anyway, so this is something that I would bring, in a morning blast. And so we could get all of these kind of things and find out what's going on, around a compression, which is some serious business, by the way, now that we're on this page. Let me just tell you a little value here. What in the world's going on here now? I know what's going on. I wish I could spend time with you and tell you what's going on in Iraq, but I'm going to try to start keeping these things down a little bit more so condensed. But I do that in this morning blast of what all this stuff that I glean in whatever hour that it comes to me to compress these things down. And then we have that would be open field day for things that people in the chat forum could go in and talk about all day, and we've got all kind of ideas that would blow your mind about that chat room forum. I mean, and you could literally get to where you will be able to see tangibly and in your mind other people that are experiencing what I call doing nothing, studying, having boatload of people out there digging and researching, because that's what they do anyway. And sharing that in that room in there, we would just be, oh man, we would be very aware of what's taking place so that we're not in fear. And one of the things we would be wiping out, because we know the drill, we have true exchange of value. We would pay $35 to get this up-to-date stuff irregardless. And then you tell someone else with that kind of passion and truth about what you're doing it because you care about them. And you don't want to let them take no for an answer. You got to get on this thing. It's get over there, and we'll give them a little 24-hour pass or something over in the chat forum so they can see what's going on. People over in that chat, they do have a real good response. Those moderators are going to anoint them with cold hard cash instantly into their STP account, because that's value. We seek value, and we'll teach a culture of truth. Then I can actually do what I do, which is this stuff right here, and share with y'all, and we would be building toward people who are aware. When you get people who are aware, why do you think that they have all this stuff? It's because keep people from being focused on one intent. That's what moves things. That's what they do to us to get us to all in unison, that to go over there and make action based on the story that they painted, but the real intent and agenda has been hidden. But we're fired up, go for it, but don't really know what's shaking. I am all about the foundation of this country, what it stood on. There's nothing wrong with that. And why should we even be nervous, for God's sakes, to say that? Is that not concerning to you? And to start digging in that, and here's where it gets to be quite interesting, and to be compensated to learn it. Talking about crosshairs. If you know what I'm talking about. So compressed into that. I'm going to be getting a little data here starting right now, by the way. Post-carbon civilization tonight. It started at 12 o'clock Central. This is going to be a good one. He's going to play some good music for a while, and then I'll catch him here in just a little bit. But I do these things, and other people do too, and we could bring this stuff to the chat room, and we could talk about it. And then we'll have visuals, we'll have hangouts. Like to keep them private. It's going to grow. If you understand the value part of this thing, you will find a way. It doesn't matter. That's what you can do, and you know others that were hungry for this kind of information. It's hard to really put your weight down on just reading it yourself, but when you have collaboration from others and it echoes back to you that the site that you've been reading about, you're not the only one reading it, that's where we start getting that power. We're on to something here, and you really don't have to do anything. From my vantage point, I would be doing it anyway. And would I pay $35 a month? I have. Maybe a tad more. I want y'all there. Need you there. We all need you there. So, gonna catch this. Hold on just a minute. Goodness gracious. Are we family here or what? I couldn't stop that. I was sitting there hollering for someone up there to send me a frequency or something, knock that tickle out, and it didn't come in time. Whoa. Anyway, so here we go. I just want to give everybody a little old shot of what's going on out there this evening in the U.S. real quickly. Got a little something moving around up north up there. If you're east of the Lincoln, Nebraska area, Omaha. I'll try to get this up quick. Sorry, but I don't think I'm going to get it uploaded in time. Oh, let's all send them some energy, for crying out loud. Now, isn't this something? You think you got a little value here? If we were real time, it would be, in case your whatever went out. That's going to be a good one. All right, so moving right on over here. What was I going to show you? Something I was going to show you. Oh! You know, all this mess that we're in, all this business here, here's another thing I was going to show you. Look at the date. They blocked Pack Alert Express again. Still June 6th. But something I was going to show you over here on RT that caught my mind, and I'm firmly convinced. It's this right here. And just give the humans the opportunity to fix things. We have the creative ability to do that, probably within a week, if given the opportunity. You guys just think about it, because these people are just sitting around thinking of something to do. And watch this. Talking about. Look at this. Can you believe that? That's what I'm talking about. The human. The human. Unlimited. We can do these things, people. I want everyone to know something, and I could not be more serious. This is our time. I hope that people can grasp what we're talking about. There are things out there that I can pack with value, but what I'm seriously concerned that you grab a hold of is your ability right now to seize the moment, do what you're doing, make a lot of friends, share with them what the value we have, show them how this is the ticket out. And we can do this from grassroots. It's a little difficult sometimes to, I know that it would be for me, to think here is a guy in East Texas, deep piney woods of East Texas, that is talking about doing something that's paradigm shifting. Where are thoughts supposed to start at? Are you supposed to you're supposed to get a degree in something that qualifies you to have an original thought that you may keep building on till others start harmonizing with you and it blossoms out from there. That's how these things work. And if we join together with the essence of what I'm talking about, do not let any of this blind us or influence us to compromise our mission. There will be many things that will come in unless they have a fair exchange of value. That's really not our cup of tea. Thank you very much. If they have a fair exchange of value and they can render us results for whatever we're looking for, and it doesn't make any difference. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in the chat room, but we're looking for fair exchange of value. And even if there isn't, and someone backslides in the fair exchange of value arena and goes out there and does something wild, there's one thing that they can count on, is that the river's still flowing. More friends you make, the more aware that you make people of the information that they need daily, because things are changing quick, to the point of I hope that we have a good Monday. Because Russia is turning off that Ukraine pipeline that's supplying 1/3 of the UK's natural gas come Monday. Watch X22. I ask y'all to watch that are serious. And so these are the things that are packed with value. I can talk to you all day long about what, the thing that I went over on the board today, but what good is gaining all that if you're totally dumbfounded when it hits the fan and you wasn't prepared. I know probably every generation goes through some people that are crackpots or what have you, going too far off the deep end, drinking too much moonshine, whatever. That may be hollering the sky's falling and digging a hole in the ground, all that. You ain't gonna have that. But look here, it's hold on a minute. It's there's these little old called nanobots. You don't have to believe me. I can get you all the hard data that you can come up with, that you can handle, that these nanobots are being dropped from those pretty little ways the wind blows the sky up there in checkerboards. They've already said that they're raining down. They've already come to it in documents. You can find that these nanobots are not even the size of the 1/100th of the width of a human hair. And they have a processor on them, a computer processor, and they can communicate with each other. And we're inhaling them. You don't think that's hard to tell someone with this going out there, and also you're telling them that you can set them free financially? And you're talking about but I could not be more serious. I don't want to drag this out. I urge you to do your own research. Because I know that you're going to find something quite shocking. And once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, listen to this, you will either cease to be mistaken and you will start proclaiming the truth, or you'll cease to be honest. And the little bit of your opening to the divine, to the other side, to the in between, will let you know inside that you have made a grave error, or you'll know that you made the right one. Because sometimes that arrow of truth is very fast and very sharp and it's painful, but you'll get through it. I'll assure you of that. So that's about it for this evening. And what is this? Oh, this is that thing I did earlier. I'm going to do another. Man, I sure enough thought that this was started because I've done this 3 times. This is the last time I'm going to do it. I didn't hit record the first 2 times. I thought I did. It looks like I'm recording now.
Oh my
Thank
God,
goodness.
I'm
Very
stressed
simple
out.
how you describe this. How y'all doing today, by the way? I'm running really late. My God. This is just getting off. This is getting too much here. You know, we talk about being able to see how you acting and all that stuff and be able to critique. I got to tell y'all though, I'm gonna have to take up for him because they had me out there at the Blueberry Festival in downtown. It was hot. It was humid. Them kids would buy a turkey leg and they'd throw it in the trash, and I'd look at them and I would have ate that turkey leg. We got a cultural problem. So I'm out there and I'm watching the clock. They hate it when I watch the clock because every step they take, I'm timing it. And so I get back in time and do this, but I was stressed out big time. And I'm able to, with the power of technology, it's very simple. There's 3 worlds that we have here. 3 worlds, and it happened on your first 3 positions. And so, y'all, that's not even public. This part here is because it's on YouTube, but that's over on screen. Thank God and Greyhound. That's on screencast. God bless y'all and the horse you rode in on. God bless this wonderful country of America and the principles it was founded on. God bless this blue planet. You go out tomorrow and you smile at a stranger, I'm going to send you a little something that you can send them. A little old smile. How's that? You provide the smile and I'll get one back for you. Deal? Deal. This is Randy, aka Jedi 1. We down.